Hello to all of my world travelers. We have a juicy topic for you today, Japanese love hotels. And before your mind starts to wander, it's BYOP. Yup, bring your own partner. Who you bring, though, can be your dirty little secret. We're gonna start off by taking a look inside these erotic hotels by talking about what they are and a brief look at the history of them. None of the boring stuff, though. Then we'll turn up the fun and take a look at 3 different love hotel styles: traditional, themed, and luxury. Sneak peek, there's a Jurassic Park themed hotel. We'll wrap up, and you should too, with some privacy and security features that you'll be relieved to hear about and the booking and payment process. A night at a love hotel is the perfect night out with your lover, or only an hour if you want to make it quick. Any quicker is up to you, we don't judge. With that being said, you can either stay the full night or just pay by the hour. The rooms are almost always designed to impress. If you want to go to a Motel 6, then just go to one. These rooms are dedicated to appreciating the ultimate pastime activity, the hanky-panky. The spaciousness of the room will let your creativity flow, and the king-size bed will give you plenty of room to live out your wildest fantasies in these no-tell hotels. With this in mind, go crazy, because these hotels are completely discreet from beginning to end. You'll have a grand total of 0 face-to-face interactions with staff. Ironically, though, the discretion doesn't begin until you walk inside the building. The outside of the hotels have large, fancy letterings with bright neon lights. Walk in with pride, as everyone knows you're about to get some. Love hotels aren't new in Japan. They date all the way back to the 17th century, but they were a little different than they are now. Back then, these love hotels, though they weren't called that then, were much more discreet than they are now. After all, being open about sex was frowned upon in Japan back then, so people had to sneak around. The love hotels looked like tea houses or inns and had secret tunnels to enter and exit. Quite different now from the flashy signs. As far as modern times, the fun all began in Osaka in 1968 in a place called Love Hotel, which is where the name Love Hotel got its origin. Anyway, love hotels became really popular in the post-war era because a lot of people still lived with their families, so they used them as a way to sneak away and take off their clothes together. Whatever happened after that is between them. Then in the late 80s and 90s, during the economic bubble in Japan, love hotels became a status symbol, and it was a very normal way to end a date night. They were so popular in that time that locals joke that everyone you know who are in their 20s and 30s were probably conceived in one of those sexy rooms. The most popular areas for love hotels are in Tokyo. The Shinjuku, Shibuya, and Ikebukuro are the best districts to find the best ones. Tokyo is proud of their love hotels. Alright, let's kick the heat up and get inside these rooms. I've touched on what a traditional room is like already, but now it's time to go deeper. Besides the king-size bed and awesome spaciousness, one of the best features of these rooms are the full jacuzzi baths. Whether you prefer to soak in to relax and get you and your partner in the mood, or let your hard-worked muscles unwind after the deed, the jacuzzi is all part of the experience. It definitely doesn't end there either. The typical love hotel will also have a large screen TV that you can order movies all the way from X-rated movies to the latest Disney movie. There's also probably going to be a mini fridge, a mini bar, and a microwave. And in the bathroom area, you'll have everything you need from shampoo, conditioner, body soap, bath salt, sachets, hair dryers, combs, and razors. I can guarantee you, though, that you'll find some condoms in the room, and if you're a risk taker, you can instead use them to blow up into balloons. And if you're lucky, you might be able to find a vibrator waiting for you. If you're staying overnight and don't have the stamina to make it until sunrise, most love hotels have a karaoke machine. You might hit a high note for the second time that night. It doesn't end there either, there's plenty more that you can order up front in the desk too. For instance, if you forgot a phone charger or nail clippers, give them a shout. And the most fun part, you can order a sexy costume from the catalog. Are you starting to see how attentive these hotels are to customer service? And now, we're gonna turn up the notch again. It might be a little too high for some of you though. We might as well start with one of the wildest and most intimidating, the Alpha Inn. To cut right to the chase, the rooms are all BDSM themed, revolving around dominance and even playful torture. Unlike a traditional room, these rooms come with the real stuff: whips, blindfolds, and handcuffs. One room is even designed to look like a hospital room with a restraint chair. Doctor, your patient is in. They were smart when they built this hotel because it's right behind the Tokyo American Club in Roppongi. It's on the pricier end for love hotels, but it might be the best way to satisfy your intense fetishes if you have them. Next up is a whole different type of weird, but no judgment, of course. Osaka is home to a Hello Kitty love hotel. You heard me right. The room looks pretty innocent on the first impression because of all the paint covering the room and fluffy stuffed animals, until you notice that the bed has an ankle and wrist restraints. We get that this isn't for everyone, but if it works for you, then live it up. And the moment you've all been waiting for, let's take a cruise to Jurassic Park. As you pull up to the completely camouflaged and forest-covered building, you'll realize that they're fully committed to it. And of course, you'll see some Tyrannosaurus Rexes looking like they're ready to attack. While the hotel lobby and hallways stay dedicated to feeling like you're running for your life from bloodthirsty dinos, the rooms aren't as jungly as you'd expect. It's still themed, but more tasteful and modern. Settle in and prepare for a night of Tyrannosaurus sexing. There's plenty more fun-themed love hotels scattered throughout Japan, like a love hotel dedicated to chocolate and sweets. Cover your lover in chocolate and get to lickin'. If you want to go skinny dipping without giving the world a free show, Hotel Baron Club has a swimming pool right inside the room. And Hotel Windbell, you can get busy in a Little Mermaid-inspired room with nautical light projections on the wall, creating the feeling that you're underwater. This is just to name a few. If you're a fancy pants, minus the pants, then a luxury love hotel might be for you. The whole idea is to make you feel like royalty. Your room might even have a private garden in it or a beautiful sauna. The food and drink menu is usually a bit fancier than most other love hotels, and some are way more fancy. Like at one of the best and most popular luxury love hotels, Hotel Meguro Emperor, you can order some Dom Perignon champagne if your wallet can manage it. This gaudy Cinderella-like castle is filled with luxury furnishings, and while it has an old-school feel to it, the rooms are maintained very well. You can find this beautiful love castle tucked into the banks of Meguro River in Tokyo. As I already mentioned a few times, love hotels prioritize discreetness. You won't ever see a staff member. When the staff drops off room service, they leave it in the hallway and simply knock on the door. You also probably won't see any other guests, though it is possible. There are separate up and down elevators to try to prevent it. Also, when you check in, they don't look at your ID, so while you need to be 18 or older to stay at a love hotel, there's no way for them to know your age. This part might freak you out a bit, so you'll automatically be locked inside the room once you enter. The main purpose is so you can't leave without paying, but just think of it as an extra layer of privacy. Or think of it as a love prison if that turns you on. The majority of love hotels don't accept reservations in advance. Instead, you'll just need to show up and see what rooms they have available. When you walk in, you'll see a large screen that displays all of the room options and what they offer. You'll select your room and a key card will pop out. Keep your wallet in your pocket at this point though, because you don't pay until you leave. The cost depends on how long you stay. For a short stay between 2 to 4 hours, it'll cost between 2,900 yen to 7,000 yen, which is 21 to 51 USD. An overnight stay will vary from 3,900 yen to 20,000 yen, which is 28 to 146 USD. Though love hotels are still popular in Japan, they aren't quite as popular as they were back in the day. Out of the roughly 10,000 love hotels in Japan, 40% of those rooms are vacant on weekdays. To help provide rooms with a large influx of tourists, a lot of love hotels adjusted their policies to allow for family and business stays. And I know what's on your mind right now, but they've tamed these rooms down to make it more family-friendly. Just choose carefully when you select the room on your family vacation. Some love hotels have gotten so far off course that they now offer birthday parties, bachelorette parties, and beauty retreats for the ladies. However, there's still plenty of opportunity to enjoy a love hotel in all of its glory. And speaking of love, show us some love by clicking the thumbs up button and subscribing to our page for more adventurous content. Thanks, everyone!